Was this more about Brady being Brady or more Cowboys heartbreak?
Absolutely, more about Brady being Brady and the Bucs being the Bucs, and having all 22 back, having a great coaching staff, knowing exactly what they needed to do to win the game and finding a way to get it done at the end. And listen, I know Steven's going to find some way to criticize the Cowboys because honestly, the only thing he probably criticized more than me is the Cowboys. So he's going to find some way to do that. But this isn't a time where you go criticize the Cowboys. The Cowboys played fantastic. This is more about the Bucs being maybe the best team in the NFL. One of the best teams in the NFL, but I was absolutely impressed with both teams, especially the Cowboys. The Cowboys have a lot of weapons. The Cowboys have a great quarterback. The Cowboys did everything to win this game, but for Brady. I'm impressed with both these teams in an incredible way for the NFL to kick off.
Who's been talking to you? I mean, who's the producer that got in his ear and told him to come at me like that? I can't believe my friend coming at me like that.
Stephen, this has nothing to do with the producer, okay?
You're coming at me like
Tim
that.
watches too.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe I'm here saying, you know what, we get in the Cowboys today, but I can't wait to talk to you about Florida down the line in a week to come because I'm keeping my eyes on those Florida Gators and college football week to week. Trust me on that. But I got to tell you, I'm not trying to sit up there and hate on the Cowboys. I'm just going to allow everybody to gloss and glow over the Cowboys the way that they're doing. Let's look at the Cowboys for a second here. We didn't know. I said Dak Prescott did throw the ball 58 times. Now, he looked great. Ezekiel Elliott, of course, you got Zach Martin out. You can't run the football as effectively as you're going to do. He can't get to the outside against that speedy defense, that front seven, as easily as he would against other opponents. So you weren't going to run the football that much. You were going to throw it to Gallup. You were going to throw it to Amari Cooper. You were going to go throw it to CeeDee Lamb. And we know how elite those dudes are. That offense is a given. Defensively, they look better. There's no doubt about that. But how much worse could you look compared to last year? They were historically bad last year. And so everybody's sitting up there and talking about the Cowboys. Oh, look at how they look. Let me remind y'all, Ronald Jones fumbled. All right, now, granted, Dan Quinn's the new defensive coordinator. He's been working on them, putting boxing gloves on them. And hard. I watched soft knocks when they were on there, okay? And he was showing them how to punch the ball out. Okay, so Ronald Jones fumbled. Leonard Fournette dropped the little gimme short pass, screen pass from Tom Brady. That was another turnover. Chris Godwin in the end zone that would have put them up and sealed the deal in the game. He fumbles in the end zone, get right before the end zone, gets the ball knocked out. I'm saying when you look at it from that perspective, the Dallas Cowboys got pretty lucky. They should have lost by more.
The defense forced 4 turnovers.
Excuse me. I just told you 2 that wasn't really forced, but 3, there was another one that was.
Hey, my friend, you're looking at the mistakes on one side. Look at them on the other side. And by the way, you're saying Ronald Jones fumbled. I don't look at it that way. I think the defensive end went in there and punched it out like he was taught to do. Leonard Fournette, he did drop that. But you could also say, hey, CeeDee Lamb was on a deep dig, and it went through his hands, and that was a pick, right? So on both sides. Plus, you could look at a possible pass interference on the game-winning drive. So there's a lot of plays that are up in the air, and I think you could kind of go both sides. Plus, 2 missed field goals by Dallas. So there's a lot of plays if you're saying, oh, this. There's a lot of butts on both sides.
I don't want to interrupt my friend like that, but his debate skills are pretty damn good, so I'm going to have to amp it up just a little bit here. Tim Tebow, number 1, I brought up the touchdown that Chris Godwin had that ultimately the ball got knocked out. What about the bomb that he dropped that hit him right in the hands? That was a touchdown as well. That's 2 touchdowns right there. Let's not forget that. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers easily should have had about 40 points, okay? They gave it away. Let's understand that the Dallas Cowboys offense is elite. Let's not even discuss that. They are what they were supposed to be. Defensively, they're better because they can't be much worse. But we also got to take into consideration, Whitehead didn't play coming into the game. He was out. And then on top of that, kid, Bunton separated his elbow. So he was out. They've been decimated in their secondary in Tampa. Dallas was going up against that, too. We just going to sit here and ignore that?
Well, I don't think you need to ignore it. That's absolutely a good point. But also, you brought it up, but Zach Martin being out, one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL, not being there. And so you can't get Zeke going at all. And that would give you even more balance. But I think where that changes is in the red zone. They were going up and down the field, but in the red zone, that's where Zeke has to come into play. That's where Zach Martin would come into play, is to have more balance in the red zone. So you're able to have those run-pass options. And also, then you're able able to get Dak on the edge even more. That's where I think the Cowboys, to really get to where they want to go of being a contender and making the playoffs, they got to get Zeke involved, but they also have to be able to score in the red zone, and I think that goes hand in hand.
Okay.
Overall, the team looked a lot better. Dan
They
Quinn
looked a
did a
lot
nice
better.
job with the
But
defense.
hold on.
And that's a great point about the Zach Martin, because I was going to get on you. The reason I thought we didn't see Zeke do anything was because you drafted him on your fantasy team.
Yes, yeah.
And you cursed it. Stephen A is playing fantasy in a
Stephen A,
big
you don't have enough time for
fantasy
fantasy
league.
football. Are you kidding? You have 42 shows. How are you doing fantasy?
Tim, they got me to do it for the first time ever, okay? And I had the 5th pick, and the other 4 running backs I wanted were gone. Yeah. What was I supposed to do?
So you go to Zeke Elliott, and he has 11 carries. I blame you.
All right.
33 yards.
I'm still beating David Spade, though. I'm still beating him.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm still beating him.
Did you have a whole team in there with you
drop.
drafting this for
Listen,
you? You know
we
what
get
you were
your
doing.
Listen, Stephen A,
Full
we
support
get
staff.
you're famous. You don't got a name drop, all right? It's the beginning of the show, man.
It's too early for that. All right. So, Tim, yesterday on the show, Michael Strahan said that he doesn't see the Bucs repeating, not because of Tom Brady, but it's just too hard to do. Do you see them running it back this year?
Gosh, I love the Bucs. I love Brady, but dang, it's hard to repeat. It doesn't matter what level you're on. It is hard. I mean, think about all the good teams they have to go against. The Rams, the Buffalo Bills, the Cleveland Browns, the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it's not only about do you have to be one of the best teams, but then you also have to be hot at the right time. You can't have injuries at the wrong time. You know, you look at the Bucs most of last year, they weren't one of the best teams, but then at the end, they got hot. They got the best players back, and they started to peak at the right time. You know, so much has to fall your way, and if I had to pick, I would probably say they wouldn't repeat, just because the odds would say that, not because I don't believe in him or believe in Brady, but just so many things have to go your way. It's just so hard.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.